Hello Figgy Fiends and Collectors, this is me, Daniel Eastman 1000, back again with another Star Wars The Black Series figure review. Today we're going to have a look at two figures from the Archive line, none other than Han Solo in Hoth gear and Luke Skywalker in Hoth gear. Both of these figures do feature pretty much the same articulation and are relatively similar, so I may as well just kill two birds with one stone in this review. So we're going to have a look at both of these guys, but first, as per usual, as always, we're going to have a quick look at the packaging. Rather than being in the big blocky rectangular boxes, these have been packed into these thin card backs. Of course, you've got Star Wars Black Series logo at the top there, where the figure sits. Nice artwork of the characters by Gregory Titus on the box there as well. Archive on the side here. Then you've got the name of the character written on the spine. Bit of legal MacGuffin as well. You've got the 50th anniversary of LucasFilm in the top corner there. On the back, because there's really nothing going on the sides, you've got a bit of a bio on both the characters, pictures of the characters themselves, and a timeline. You can see that the original trilogy has been highlighted because that's what both of these figures are from. Something I actually failed to mention in my Commander Cody review, but we'll pick it up just here. Previous Archive line figures on these card backs have actually had the pictures of the original figures and how they appeared in the box. Well, these don't for some reason, which is quite bizarre, but it is what it is. You can sort of Google them anyway. Of course, as always, you've got that lovely, lovely legal MacGuffin at the bottom there. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. So, onto the figures themselves. Han and Luke, this is how they appear in Empire Strikes Back in their Hoth gear. We have seen these figures before. These were a part of some deluxe packs. So Luke came with the Wampa, which was subsequently re-released and repainted as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So this figure, because I actually picked that figure up and I have done a review on it, links up there somewhere, this accompanies that extremely well. Han, however, came with a tauntaun, and unfortunately we didn't see a re-release. Hopefully Hasbro will re-release it one day and repaint it, because the paint apps on that tauntaun were dreadful, quite frankly. But that's a little bit of a side thing about these figures. Let's talk about the figures individually. We'll start off with Han, just because there's a bit more going on and a bit more to discuss about him than there is Luke. So, if we zoom in on this figure, first thing to note really is these Archive figures feature the new face tech technology. So they've improved on the pretty dire head sculpts that the older Black Series sort of had. They were pretty good for the time, but they've certainly upgraded them with that new technology that they developed, and they certainly look a lot more realistic. A wee correction as well from my haul video, of which I unboxed these guys and spoke a little bit about them. I got the jacket information wrong. The original release that came with the tauntaun was in blue. This information comes with thanks to JCC2224. Thank you for the information here, but this re-release sees the brown coat as you see here. There's also a variant where there's a darker version of this coat. I'm not sure which version I've got, to be perfectly honest with you. It is what it is to me. So that's a bit of an interesting tidbit for you. If you are a variant collector though, you'll be out on the hunt for the different colour variation, I'm sure. But for me, I'm happy with what I've got. If we run along down the figure, you can see his boots, trousers and whatnot. You've got his holster there, which does work. He comes with quite a few accessories, to be honest with you. He's got the hood of the jacket, which you can take off. It's a bit difficult to do so, but you can do that. And also, which just fell off, his goggles as well. So they can sit around his head like so. And give you a better look at that head sculpt, of which is certainly an improvement from the original. Although, to be honest, when pull back a bit, it looks a little bit small in proportion to the body. I don't know if that's just me. Ant's on a postcard with that one. So if I just pop the hood back on, just because I do think the hood looks a hell of a lot better on him. He comes with the macro binoculars, of which I've got him posed with these around his neck like so, and you can remove that. It's sort of difficult to get him to hold them just because his grip isn't that widespread. We can have a go though. I mean, you can sort of make... No, not really. He comes with these. It's not particularly well painted. It's just a solid white block of plastic with the brown strap going around like so, but you can see inside there where he would look through. And also, as always, it wouldn't be Han Solo without his signature blaster, which, like I said, does fit into his blaster holster like that. It does peg into there. Of course, you've got his rank badge on the jacket. Lots of cool sculpting, wrinkled effect all on that. It's really, really good. Got a bit of a comm link on his wrist there as well. The belt. It's a pretty basic figure, to be honest with you. I mean, both of these are. I'm going to be straight up with that. And in some regards, they do certainly show their age, just in terms of the articulation, of which we'll get into now. He has a ball-jointed head on a ball-jointed hinge, ball-jointed shoulders, ball-jointed elbows, and you're probably wondering, well, this seems like relatively standard stuff, Mr. 1000. But he actually features swivel wrists, of which, even back then, when this figure was first released, was a strange choice on Hasbro's part, but nonetheless, he just has swivel wrists. I mean, that just seems like such a distant memory, and a standard thing now to have ball-jointed wrists rather than just swivels. OGs remember. It is what it is. Ball-jointed torso, ball-jointed hips, swivel at the top of the thigh, double hinged knees, ball-jointed ankles with the rocker joints as well. So that's pretty much all the articulation that comes with Han and Luke as well, which, I mean, that leads me perfectly into Luke. Luke features the same articulation as I said, so let's just get a look into the figure itself. Now, the main difference from this to the original first release of the Luke, obviously, is the face technology head sculpt, but also the original release did have the face covered in blood as if it had been attacked by the wampa. They've seemingly removed that to make it a little bit more PG friendly. That could be due to Disney's decision, not so much a Hasbro one, I'm not too sure. But he does feature on that head sculpt the scarring that Mark Hamill did have from his motorcycle incident, and obviously they sort of had to explain that in terms of the production of the film, and so they made the wampa attack in terms of explaining, you know, that scarring. Just a little tidbit there for you. We've got this soft goods scarf piece here. It's kind of an interesting choice on Hasbro's part, rather than having it as plastic, so you can sort of pose that a little bit, and it doesn't hinder articulation either, which is great. If we just move the lightsaber out of the way, you've got his rank badge there, his hat as well, which has the communication device on the side there, on the back. Some really cool sculpting and detailing. His holster as well, which does hold the blaster. If we just take that out, not really in his trigger finger hand, but we'll just give him that anyway. That's his blaster. It's got some brown paint detail for the handle and the silver for the muzzle. Pretty much the standard Luke Skywalker lightsaber hilt as well, with the lightsaber beam, of which you can remove like so. It's always a bit tense when you have to remove that for review, but I'll do it for you guys because I'm good like that. Oh, and in terms of the hilt, because of that loop there, you can hook it onto his belt like so, obviously without the beam, but that's just to demonstrate that. So that's really it in terms of accessories and what you can do. Like I said, articulation is exactly the same as the Han. Both of these figures, they're not bad by any stretch. I just think because of a lot of the new modern figures we're getting, these kind of feel a little bit dated to an extent. Hasbro's certainly improved what they've done, how they make figures, but if you missed out on these guys the first time like I did, they certainly do accompany your Hoth display extremely well. And in particular, if you've got a wampa, this Luke goes with that absolutely fantastically. I just hope, like I said at the start of this review, that they do re-release that tauntaun at some point, especially with a repaint and a bit of a rework, but only time will tell on that one. Overall, both these figures, they're alright. They're just fine. Let me know though what you guys think. Have you picked these guys up? Are you considering it? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, this is me, Daniel 1000, signing out. Thank you very much for watching.